Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at a scenario where the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth returns in the modern day. I am very sorry for my very poor borders. I tried this like 7,000 times and I really just could not do it. So, here it is. This is the best we're going to get. But let's check what countries are alive. So, Lithuania is barely alive. Latvia is barely alive. Russia has just lost a little bit of chunks. Belarus is standing by by a few pixels. Ukraine, I don't even know if Kiev's still there. They're still here. They have a lot of their eastern half, not a lot of their western half. Poland is still alive, kinda, like the other Poland, not the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Slovakia, Czechia are fine. Lithuania got a little bite taken out of them. So did Moldova, a little bit on the top, like really little off the top. So let's see. First off, I feel like Belarus. The Belarus is just gonna collapse. So Ukraine will annex this, and Russia will just annex this. Like, it doesn't really. Oh yeah, Russia also got this little bite taken out of them. I don't really think they would care about that. But yeah, this is just the best borders we're gonna get. So, honestly, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth is just going to declare war on the rest of Lithuania and the rest of Latvia, because they could also declare war on Ukraine, but right now, they're just going to get rid of the ones that are barely standing, and barely standing, Poland itself is actually, you know what, we're just going to divide Poland again. So, first off, before we continue this war, Germany's going to annex this part, and Russia's going to annex this part. Like, Poland, at that point, the rest of Poland would just collapse. I feel like Ukraine would, this part of Ukraine would also collapse. So, like, we're just going to split. This part goes to Moldova, and this part goes to Lithuania, Romania. I think it just suits. Yeah. Slovakia is gonna get its little chunk back. We don't want Hungary getting that chunk. Hungary did a lot of bad things with that chunk. But yeah. So the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth is just gonna kind of steamroll these guys, but they're not really gonna send a lot of people. They're kind of just gonna send a few men. Well, that's not good tolerance. What the fuck? And they fall. But yeah, so they fell. At this point, Russia, they're like, we're just gonna, like, we should take our land back, to be honest. Like, we should take it back. And Russia's like, well, no, you never owned that in the first place. You got what you previously owned. You're just declaring war on people. In Lithuania, the Lithuania part, which is like this, is not going to let that slide, but Poland's like, just leave it be. Now, Germany. We're going to leave you be for a little bit. But Ukraine, you're barely hanging on. You have Kharkiv. If Kiev isn't taken, which it probably has been, unless it's like on, I think the Dnipro is like, actually no, I think it like goes to middle Belarus. So Kiev is like in Poland, Lithuania. So like, or maybe like the river's like right here, or whatever. Like, Kiev is in danger either way. So yeah, no, it's definitely right here. So Kiev is in danger, and the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, like, we could take that. We could annex the rest of Ukraine. I mean, Ukraine pretty much already lost this part. They already lost Carpathia. They already lost this little part. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but they lost it. So they're pretty weak. At this point, like, they're pretty weak if they've lost land and they're still alive. So, they don't really know what to do. And I don't know what to do either. So they take a little bit of a break. They take a little bit of like a month break. They take a month of break. They don't attack any country in this 1 month. Meanwhile, what they're doing in this month is they're getting their military up. They're lining their borders with their newfound military, and they're just getting ready to attack someone because they're done getting split in half. So they're worrying about Russia, and they're worrying about Russia and Germany, because that's probably the biggest threats they should worry about. So Germany, Russia, yeah, the whole I hate you part, I guess. But like, but at this point, what do I do from here? I don't know. They declare war on Germany. Now, the reason for this is because Germany annexed some of their land that was previously theirs, and they're like, alright, we gotta get this back. So they actually declare war on Germany. Germany not declaring war on them is surprising. But eventually, they're able to get to like the Berlin Wall. Like, this is like where their border was. Berlin's like right here. So they start pushing towards it. But then, in an instant that kind of surprises no one, Russia joins in. Actually, we're gonna call this Prussia. Prussia joins the war. Yeah, Prussia joins the war. Gets absolutely smacked around. And loses. Meanwhile, in the south, the Polish-Lithuanian troops begin to move down in southern Germany, as Germany can't really defend against this. I mean, yeah, they're richer, but like, whenever I do this, they're buffed. And Germany's like, why are their soldiers stronger than me? Wonder why. But Russia's like, alright, we gotta line troops up, because we could obviously just take out Ukraine, right? Like, get these out of the way. So that's what they actually do. Ukraine is declared war on by Russia. So while this is happening, Russia's taking full opportunity, because Ukraine's about to die. They're like, oh yeah, we're just liberating Ukraine. They technically are. I mean, who else is going to kill them? So Poland and Lithuania kind of just does nothing about this, even though they totally could. They don't. They don't do anything about it. Absolutely nothing. Ukraine begins to fall because what are they going to do? They are severely weakened. Ukraine's biggest assets are in the west, and guess what? The west is gone. They lost the entire west. They're just the east now. So they can't really do anything, and they eventually surrender, and Russia just annexes the rest of Ukraine. Full of Ukraine is gone. There's no more Ukraine. So Russia is now a threat in this. Like, they're its own color, because Russia now has a really big border that they can use against Poland. Wonder how this is going to end up. Really wonder. So eventually, Russia begins to, like, because the world is on Poland, Lithuania, not Russia right now, because there's a massive threat that's attacking Germany. NATO doesn't exist. The EU doesn't exist. Alliances don't exist. Eventually, like, the entire world stage is on Germany and Poland. Poland is attacking and doing good damage on Germany, which at this point, Berlin's captured, and it's probably just sieged. But this is, like, Berlin's definitely most likely sieged, so we're just gonna get, like, Berlin out of the way. But Germany is still losing. Like, they probably made, like, a little bit of progress. But Russia is free to expand. So that's what they're doing. They're expanding. Like, They're just attacking the Caucasus. They're having a grand old time because no one's paying attention to them right now. So they start to use this time wisely, and they completely roll over the Caucasus. Why do they need this? Well, it's because their main goal is to get rid of Poland. Because if Poland gets too strong, they could be a very big problem. If they get to Germany, then Poland could be a really big threat, because not only is Germany a very great economic power, they are very strong. Like, they're already strong to a point where they're destroying the Germans. Like, who would have thought of that? They don't do this. Now, the Germans are making a counteroffensive after Poland begins to realize what Russia's doing. They're getting ready for a full-scale invasion of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. So Germany uses this opportunity as Poland begins to send troops back to Russia's side. They begin to make a push to try to get back to Berlin. Poland realizes this and is like, alright, we gotta recruit more men, because we took this month off to get our military up, and it's going to shit right now. Like, we have our troops are stretched out on these fronts, and Russia, who basically has an unlimited manpower, as seen in other wars, is lining a bunch of troops up, and yeah, they're just, and Germany almost reaches, but then this troop is encircled by a bunch of Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth tanks that now for some reason are the Winged Hussars. And now Poland's making it up to this canal, where if they get to it, German trade and German resupplies, and it's eventually sieged. So Germany begins to panic and begins to send supplies immediately to this area, because Poland probably doesn't even have the best navy. It's like, they're fine. So now this place is encircled. These guys just died. Poland's making progress, and Germany's panicking. So Germany's going to attempt to ask for help. Now, please do not say this is unrealistic, because it's not that hard to catch on. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth is not supposed to get. Also, so yeah. Also, thanks to this comment for doing it. I'm gonna post it up at some point when I'm editing this video. But that comment from a very long time ago, before I posted this video, from a very, very long time ago video, from the Yugoslavia video, because I was just checking comments, looking at stuff, seeing if anyone asked what app I used for like the 75th time to reply to them, and I saw a comment saying you should bring back the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. I'm like, oh my god, that's such a good idea! And that's not actually what I said. I just thought, oh, I can record a video. Then I have to look at the comment. Look what I'm doing. Create borders, and now I'm recording a video. I've been on a streak of videos, so I've been attempting to get a bunch of videos up. Eventually, though, the Polish soldiers are attempting to enter Berlin, but they're not really doing much. Like, it's kind of sad. Yeah, but like, they're still here, so Berlin's still standing. Hooray. Yeah, whatever. Hold up. Alright, yeah. Berlin is still standing. We're just gonna keep it at that. Yeah. Keep it at that. Berlin's still standing. Hooray, hooray, hooray. At this point, the Polish are continuing to push, and they're trying to push for the Rhineland, because if they can capture the Rhineland, then Germany's production limit stops. At this point, the West finally lifts Germany's military restrictions, and Germany begins mass-producing shit. Like, really, really mass-producing, because the West, like, you still have military restrictions, you can't use your full military strength, and now they're like, alright, this is getting too out of hand. Russia's about to attack. Lift your military restrictions. Because Russia knows if Poland gets attacked and they don't have anything, then they're not going to be able to stop the carnage that's happening in their eastern part of their country. They're not going to be able to, do something against Poland. So now, Germany gets a massive line of troops. At this point, this is captured. But they retreat to this area. So they're like, alright, now we gotta get a bunch of troops. And they start mass producing stuff, but they're still getting pushed back on the line with Poland. And now, they're really close to the Rhineland. Like, too close for comfort. So now, eventually, the Germans begin to push back the Polish. And this has to end. Like, this has to end. Like, the Germans need to stop this before it gets too bad. So at this point, they're like, alright, now we recaptured Berlin. The Poles are getting pushed back. And at this point, the Russians finally enter Poland. Like, once the German pushed back, they're like, alright, now we gotta get in before Germany takes too much land. The Russians are pushing in at an alarming rate. The Poles were getting ready for this. They're able to stop it to an extent, but there's too many people on the front line. Like, there's a lot of fucking Russians. Russia is just putting men on the line, and even though Russia is technically the start of this war, they're technically liberating countries that the Poles attacked. At this point, the Germans also begin to push back, and once they push back, they're like, I'm kidding, no. They just start to push back using their better infrastructure and their better equipment, and Poland really begins to fall. Like, really bad here. Prussia is re-encircled, and Germany re-liberates Prussia, probably being put under their control. At this point, Germany pushes up to here. Russia pushes down and meets up with the Germans in the middle. And Poland is once again split in half as Russia says Poland surrender. So yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you to, big shout out to, big shout out, hold up. Big shout out to First Logo Fan 1939. That's very, thank you. I really thank you for that, because that really just helped me think of an idea, because I was confused, like the filler episodes. Alright, but yeah, we're gonna end the video here. If you want to know the peace treaty, it's just modern borders. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.